And we are continuing here with our coverage of the 133rd Supreme Convention of the Knights of Columbus. We're in Philadelphia, and we have a very special guest with us on the desk, Archbishop Joseph Kurtz of Louisville, Kentucky, also the president of the USCCB. Thank you so much for being with us.
Kevin, Father Reed,
Archbishop.
so good to be with you all, to the city of brotherly love.
Here we are.
And this is the place that everything's happening this year, it seems. We have the
Sure
Knights of
is.
Columbus, and of course the Pope is coming in just under 2 months now. And maybe if you could start off by telling us your thoughts about the Pope visiting here.
Well,
and
his first time. It's
here,
the
yeah.
first time for our Holy Father ever to visit the United States of America. And I know he's eager. The president of the conference, along with the vice president, meets directly and personally with the Pope each year. And so the last 2 years, actually, we've talked about his visit. So here it is upon us. It'll be a great chance for us to welcome him. Certainly he'll come as a pastor, and he'll come as a prophet, probably. So he'll come in ways that both join and welcome people, but also, I think, call us to a sense of conversion. So I can't wait for him to come. I told him, come and stay as long as you can.
And you're Archbishop, about halfway through your term as president of the United States Conference of
It's a
Catholic
three-year term.
Bishops. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's exciting enough, but the papal visit, the World Meeting of Families, and all the rest have just added to your workload, but also, I'm sure, to the joy that it is for you to hold this position.
It has. Father Reed, I'll tell you, it really is a joy. We are elected, someone's elected as president of the Bishops' Conference for 3 years. It's really a privilege to serve, and it really is that. It puts a little bit of burden on the people back home, because God bless us, and a special shout out to all the people at the Archdiocese of Louisville who just have done yeoman's work, because I am on the road a good deal. But it's an adventure, and it's a wonderful adventure in service to Christ, you know, and serving brother bishops.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And we're going to be here in just, as we said, just under 2 months too. But the World Meeting of Families is also a very special time here in Philadelphia too. And I wanted to talk to you about the role of families now. You know, we're seeing so much around in the secular world about, you know, attacks on the family. But you know, the Pope has been talking about the role of the family and the importance of family. And maybe if you could expand on that.
He has, and you know, his Wednesday teaching sessions. Boy, are they beautiful. If anybody really said, well, I'd like to find a little more, to go back and just read some of the beautiful things he has said, really strong in love, strong in truth, strong in mercy. I mean, all the things that you know Jesus wants us to do, our Holy Father's doing. Kevin, we say that the family is at the basis not only of our church, the domestic church, but also of our society. And people should not get discouraged, because there are some really authentic witnesses to what it means to have true love, to have sacrificial love, spouses, a husband for wife, wife for husband, and for their children. And boy, do we need that very, very great witness. Our Holy Father has said, I think on a couple occasions, remember, the family is not just the object of evangelization, receiving from the church. The family is a subject, is one who gives. And so we need to call forth that witness. I'm hoping that the World Meeting of Families will be kind of a jump start and a catalyst and an incentive for that.
You know, speaking of good pastors, and I'm sure Kevin will agree, we always look forward to having a chat with you each year here and having your program on Catholic TV, because you yourself...
Thanks for covering that.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure for us.
Yeah.
You know, it's great content. But the fact of the matter is that you too, and I don't want to give you a big head, but you're a great pastor, and it really comes across. And you've extended, because of your present role, your pastoral responsibilities and care in a number of trips. You mentioned traveling to Haiti, to the Ukraine. Could you tell us about those trips and about the generosity of the American people?
Sure, I sure can. Thanks, Father Reed, for asking about that. Well, first of all, it is a privilege, and it's been a great tradition for the president of the Bishops' Conference to make fraternal visits. And so when I go to visit Haiti, It's first of all to visit the bishops in Haiti and to be a help, a partner, and a support. The same was true for the bishops of the Greek Catholic Church and of the Latin Rite Church in Ukraine just a month ago. And in many ways, part of our visit is also to be able to acknowledge the generosity of people throughout the United States. When the hurricane, the earthquake, occurred in Haiti 5 years ago, people were unbelievable in their generosity. We're now seeing the fruits of that work. We had the blessing of a hospital. I saw the buildings of the various new churches. When you see life restored, you think, wow, the church at its best. The same is true for the collection for the church in Eastern Europe. The people of Ukraine, and especially the churches, have benefited, as has the Caritas, the group that helps out. So both in looking at the way in which our church reaches out, as our Holy Father said, to walk with people, to accompany them, and also for us as an Episcopal conference to reach out and help build up our brothers and sisters who are in other parts of the world. That's part of the essence of what it means to be Catholic, huh?
There's a Ukrainian Rite liturgy taking place here at the nights during this time too, and we talked about the family, but we're here at the Knights of Columbus Supreme Convention, a good family, lots of good families around here too. But talk about the importance of the Knights and their work. And
you can't say enough about the fraternal order. The Knights, their families, the spouses who are involved, really are the people who are in leadership. I don't mean simply in their work to the Knights of Columbus, but they're also the ones who are the engine of our parishes and our schools. There's a great amount of charity. I was blown away by the statistics. Yeah. I still think, was there an extra zero added there? I can't believe the number of hours and the dollars that are reaching out humanitarianly to help others. And so I think when Pope Francis talks about a lively faith, encountering Jesus, and then not keeping that faith to ourselves, but sharing it with others, especially through our acts of charity, I think the Knights of Columbus are the icon of what he's talking about.
Nice way to put it, the icon.
And
speaking of such, and speaking of charity, I saw online a beautiful picture of a statue in front of your cathedral that represents the charity and good work of religious women, not only in your own diocese, but across this country.
It's a nice statue, isn't it?
Beautiful.
I hope people will go online. It's right in front of our cathedral, and it's a statue of Mother Katherine Spalding. And back in 1831, when she founded what has ended up to be Presentation Academy for girls, as well as Spalding University, that actually began in the basement of the cathedral. I'm told when they were doing some renovations, maybe 25 years ago, they found crayons in which they suspected that these were the instruments being used catechetically to help young people at that time. So Mother Katherine Spalding, born in Charles County, Maryland, was among the people, the early Catholics who came to Kentucky back, in the late 1700s. And she was really an example of a woman of faith who founded a religious community and who really spent herself in service to other people. And she served people who were Catholic, people who were not Catholic. The Kentucky was a great mixture at that time, and still is. There's a richness to Kentucky.
Kudos to the artist too, because she's carrying one child in one arm and dragging another one, and
if
she's
one's
in motion.
Pointing, you probably see was pointing up there. We're all looking up to see what he's pointing to. And she has a very kind but a very determined face. I said to the artist, "Did you have a model?" And he said, "The only probably not a photograph. The only sketch of Mother Katherine Spalding that he could find was the one he used for her face." So it's really a clear replica of what we know about Mother Katherine Spalding.
Well, we
Yeah.
thank you so much, Archbishop, being with us, and we look forward to seeing you when the Pope arrives too.
That's wonderful. Keep me in your prayers, and thank you and Catholic TV in Boston for the great work that you all do.
Thank you so much.